Alright, and welcome to Season 3, Race 12, I think this is. My F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. We are here in Hungary for the Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring. And we qualified P11, a little disappointing, but we aren't that good, or typically not that good at Hungary anyway, so it's not a total surprise. Qualifying was a little interesting because, obviously, since I wasn't anywhere near pole, per se, or I wasn't a threat for pole, I can see the ghost cars battling for pole, and it was, for most of the lap, it was Norris in the first sector, really, and then it sort of bounced back between Ricciardo and Lundgaard, but then right at the very end, Leclerc just swooped in and took the pole. And as you can see, it was pretty close between the top four. But yeah, Leclerc just right at the final corner, coming out the final corner, just managed to just barely take the lead. And he grabbed the pole for the Hungarian Grand Prix. And I'm actually very intrigued to see what happens in this race, solely based on the forecast for the race. So our new rival is Fernando Alonso. He edges me out in qualifying, but I'm pretty sure we can get him going into turn one, so that shouldn't be much of a fight in the race itself.
Tough luck there. It's not quite where we'd want to be on the grid, but chin up, it's not the end of the world.
And as you can see, not only are they calling for rain in this race, they're also calling for, essentially, torrential downpours. I think it's the first race I've done in this game where the lightning symbol has been shown in the forecast for a race. So the rain's going to be getting very heavy in the second half. Development-wise, I think saw some big gains. And we were the best car anyway, but we went even further ahead this time. McLaren keeping up, but just barely. Track of where I'm supposed to go here. Let's go to durability. I think I will go with ICE reliability testing. In this one, we're just 6 points off of getting this one, unfortunately. There you see the pecking order as it stands now. AlphaTauri, I just noticed they had actually fallen pretty far in the running order. They were, and I guess it's more just down to, their points haul thus far in the season, I guess, is more down to just, the performance of their drivers, Bottas and Gasly, which is quite a combination. But regardless, let's go into the Hungarian Grand Prix.
It's race day in Budapest as we get ready for another round of the Formula One World Championship. We don't expect too many retirements at this track. There are plenty of current and former drivers with flawless finish rates here. In particular, Ralf Schumacher. He made it across the line in all 10 of his Hungarian Grand Prix starts. Located 12 miles northeast of the Hungarian capital Budapest, the 14 corners of the Hungaroring are steeped in history and prestige. Overtaking has always been difficult on this technical 2.7-mile circuit, but the last few years in particular have turned up some exceptional races. Let's hope we're in for another one here today. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, all trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you got your own race to run, I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, with Daniel Ricciardo slotting in alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Lundgaard, Carlos Sainz and Norris, Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, Latifi and Fernando Alonso, the owner-driver, Ocon, Pierre Gasly and Hamilton, Bottas, Russell, Max Verstappen and Lance Stroll, Giovinazzi, Aitken, Joe and Callum Islet. That's it.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
All right. Now the leaders are starting on softs, I'm pretty sure. And we've got some interesting strategies for the second half of the field, because again, we know the rain is coming, and we know that the top 10 have to start on the softs. So the cars that are starting on non-soft tires are Pierre Gasly, Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, George Russell, and Max Verstappen. Everyone else is on the softs. Now, I guess conventional wisdom on a different track might be for me to start on the mediums and wait out the rain, but this is Hungary, not one of my best tracks, so I think my best bet is to start on the soft tire. Now I'm picking this strategy, but that's not necessarily going to be the strategy, of course. But I think my best bet is to start with the soft tire and just, just go from there, just so I can try to keep up with the rest of the field.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
So, Gasly's on hards, and the first car on mediums, I believe, is Hamilton, or mediums, I should say, is Hamilton.
The drivers we're racing are Alonso and Ocon. Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes' time. Rain in 10 minutes. Dries seem like the best tyre for now. We're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes.
bit of ghosting. Yep, so our goal is going to be, turn 1 is going to be our real chance here to gain spots on the start, so...
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
Alright, 5 red lights for the Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring. Lights out, and away we go. A lot of contact on that opening lap. Let's see how much wing damage I got here. So actually, my teammate Christian Lundgaard's going to end up taking the lead here. So let's take a look at this start from here. He's going to end up making a 4-wide pass into turn 1. Look at that. 4-wide pass. He's going to come out of it with the race lead. This opportunity to capture this moment. Point is that it was a lot of cars coming off of out of the first turn. They eventually got sorted out though, so it's Lundgaard in the lead, Leclerc second, Ricciardo third, Perez in fourth, Schumacher in 5th, Sainz in 6th, and we are sitting in P7 with Norris in P8, Alonso in P9, and Yuki Tsunoda in P10. I think the Mercedes really lost out there on the start of the race. Or at the start, I should say.
Gap to teammate ahead is 2.7 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're in first. The time last lap was a 1 minute 21.9. Signs is behind you, less than a second separate you. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 2 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:19.1. Expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Confirmed. Gap to car in front is 3.2 seconds.
Yeah, much like Monaco, I'm struggling to hold on to the pack in front of me. Which certainly is not ideal. Leading a bit of a DRS train at the moment.
approaching the pit window. You'll be on the hards.
Ricardo, first the leaders to pit. There comes Sainz to the inside, and contact.
Okay, we don't think we're far away from some rain. I'll keep you updated as the conditions change.
Pause for a second to see where Ricardo ended up. Because he pitted, and he's behind some of those guys who started on the harder tires. So and the McLaren's definitely pitting early.
We want to pit this lap, so push now.
Not sure if that's the smartest move, to be honest with you, considering that the rain is coming.
The car behind is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
There's the rain.
Confirming that we'll be fitting the intermediate tyres.
So the McLaren boys have kind of screwed themselves over on the strategy.
Let's be mindful of the conditions. The track is getting wetter. Recommend you stay out for now though. We'll be much slower if we move on to inters this early.
hoping the rain would stay off a little longer so that the guys in front of me would pit, but not the case, and we are in the wet now.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
And yep, there it is.
Got that confirmed?
Wet weather tires. It doesn't say this lap. I'm tempted to pit this lap because I know it's going to be, the pit road's going to be so crowded.
Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. The tyre situation is pretty touch and go right now. We think the slicks may still be quicker, but it's very close, and you're going to struggle to keep them in the temperature window. The inters are ready when you need them.
Yeah, I had to pit now, no other choice. DRS disabled. Again, that's usually the universal sign that it's time for the inters. So who else came in? My teammate definitely came in. So did Leclerc, and so did Perez. Schumacher got caught out, so he has to go around one more time. It looks like Latifi and Ocon will be caught out, so they have to go around one more time. We'll definitely lose some spots here, I think, just because Lundgaard pitted already.
Go, go,
Well,
go.
no, guess
You'll
not.
be
We're going to
racing
come out
on the
right
exit.
ahead of Carlos
Go,
Sainz.
now. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Looks like Russell, another car that will be caught out here. His teammate Lewis Hamilton was pitting. Oh, Russell, come on. Get by you very quickly, and hope that you do an admirable job holding up everyone behind you to secure my position. Oh yeah, he's holding up them, except for Carlos Sainz. Sainz will get by.
Caution, caution.
Uh-oh, we got problems. What's going on up here? I think some of those cars were the ones that had were forced to, that's the, oh gosh, that's, I can't speak. That's, Nicholas Latifi, so he got caught out. I don't know why they wouldn't double stack. I think that's a minor issue with the game in the AI, but, Latifi spins out. He's out of control. He's going to get plowed into by Leclerc. Well, Leclerc doesn't hit him, but Leclerc gets run into from behind by Sergio Perez. So surely his front wing... Yep, there goes the front wing damage on his car, so Perez will probably have to pit again. Leclerc's gotten held up. Latifi's trying to get going again. This will help Schumacher, certainly, and help my teammate as well.
Green flag.
And tried to pass Perez in an inopportune spot there. I think Leclerc might have escaped without any wing damage, so he might be okay. So that fiasco absolutely helped Mick Schumacher, as he's going to jump into third place. And meanwhile, my teammate Christian Lundgaard is just driven off into the distance. Try to see where everyone else is in the running order at this stage. So, Carlos Sainz will be 5th place. Alonso will be 6th. Yuki Tsunoda will be 7th. Lewis Hamilton in the Williams will be 8th. Lando Norris will be 9th. Or Daniel Ricciardo will be 9th. And 10th will be Pierre Gasly. Check the updated running order momentarily once everyone's off pit road.
These conditions are only getting worse. Watch out for standing water.
I would not be surprised at some point if we all switch to full wets, especially with that very ominous lightning symbol in the weather forecast. So, second race in a row that's been wet. Of course, the British Grand Prix was in full wet conditions, where we lost out to Daniel Ricciardo.
Teammate by 14.2 seconds.
As I was
the
saying,
gap behind is 4.9 seconds.
thank you, Jeff. As I was saying, we came up short to Ricciardo in a British Grand Prix that was a wet race from start to finish, but was in intermediate conditions. So just to recap, Lundgaard is the race leader. Leclerc is 2nd. Schumacher is 3rd. I am 4th. Sainz is 5th. Alonso 6th. Tsunoda 7th. Hamilton 8th. Ricciardo 9th. Gasly in 10th. Then we've got Nicholas Latifi in 11th. Lance Stroll in 12th. Lando Norris in 13th. Guan Yu Zhou in 14th. Bottas in 15th. Verstappen 16th. Perez drops to 17th. George Russell's 18th. Giovinazzi 19th. Jack Aitken 20th. Esteban Ocon 21st. And Callum Ilott 22nd. Just trying to get an idea of where he is in comparison to the leaders. Let's see, about 3/4 of a lap down. We are definitely in the fight with Leclerc and Schumacher here. Of course, the challenge will be actually trying to pass them for position. It's definitely the worst part of the track for me is this left-right S's portion of Sector 3. That's where I definitely lose the most time, even in dry conditions. So attempting to overtake is going to be a challenge just because I don't know, if I'll get the opportunity to be super close to them or not.
Our gap behind is 5.0 seconds. We're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment.
And now we're going to be entering the portion of the race where the rain will start to get heavier. Though that doesn't necessarily mean they'll actually call us in for full wets.
These conditions don't look like they're shifting. We're predicting at least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall. Inters seem like the fastest tyre for now. The car ahead is starting to create a gap. They're starting to pull away from us.
Lap times in these conditions are just about 1:30, maybe a little bit under. At least that lap I was a little under. So 10 seconds slower than my fastest time in the dry conditions.
The gap to the car behind is 5.2 seconds. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Okay, copy that.
Calling for a new set of intermediates in 8 laps time. Checking some things here real quick. Alright, we continue.
Heavy rain will be staying with us for a while now, at least a 20-minute window of heavy rain.
So I said earlier about how we might go on to the wet weather tires. Well, they're not. Evidently, it's not heavy enough to convince the strategists to put me on those tires. So I guess they're gonna stay out on the intermediates for the time being. And when we pit, we will, I guess, pit for a fresh set of intermediates instead of a fresh set of full wets.
Gap to teammate ahead is 13.7 seconds. The gap behind us is 5.1 seconds.
A little trouble navigating this chicane with this particular camera.
I think we're still on the right tyres for the time being.
So we're keeping the gap steady to Schumacher, extending slightly over Carlos Sainz, but he's still about 5 seconds back. Made a bit of an error there. Nope, that was not a good idea.
Okay, the gap behind is 5.0 seconds.
Esteban Ocon out of the race. Mechanical issue for Esteban Ocon. Retires from the race. Well, he was running at the back at that point anyway, so no real impact to the top 10 from a points perspective.
Two laps until the pit window. You'll be on inters for the next stint. We're in P4. Schumacher is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 1.2 seconds. They're on old inters. Signs behind. Our gap behind is 4.6 seconds. They're on old inters. Our gap to first place is 14.5 seconds. Your pit window opens in 2 laps' time. 14 laps to go. Okay, the car behind is catching you by 5/10 a lap. 5/10.
Losing ground to Mick Schumacher at this stage, while Carlos Sainz is starting to gain a little bit.
The gap to the car behind is 4.1 seconds. The pit box is currently full. Stay out on track. Stay. Understood. Stopping this lap. Okay, fitting intermediate tyres next. We can't take you right now. Pit in next lap.
Oh, too bad. I put it with my teammate.
Exit. Exit now. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
So, interestingly,
The tyre situation is an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got right now.
huh? They put me on the intermediates instead of the full wets. Interesting choice. Schumacher and Leclerc stayed on track. And they're coming in now. Well, actually, Schumacher stays out for another lap.
Our gap to the car in front is 21.4 seconds.
So this is going to be very interesting to see what the performance difference is like. I don't know if we mean...
It's borderline, but if I were you, I'd come in and change tyres. I'm just not sure we're on the right ones for the conditions anymore. The radar suggests that this heavy rain will be with us for a while now.
Full wets seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
So they put me on the wrong freaking tire.
Say that again, we're having trouble receiving.
Box this lap.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
Set full wets.
Wet tyres confirmed.
So coming again. So evidently we went with the wrong tire. That's gonna sting a little bit. Not sure how many spots we're going to lose.
Release, release.
We drop down to P7. To go for a potential podium, dropping down to P7.
P7 now, P7.
Tsunoda is ahead of you.
They're on fresh wets. Ricardo behind. The gap behind us is 6.0 seconds. They're on fresh inters. The gap to the leader is 23.5 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. There are 10 laps to go.
Let's see if we can catch these guys in front of us. We're on a lap fresher, wet tire. And we are a faster car. Of course, Alonso is our rival, so that gives us a little extra motivation to try and go get him. Seems like Ricardo is having all sorts of issues. Though somehow he still hasn't lost a position, so I'm wondering... Yeah, he's like way ahead of the next car.
Okay, the gap behind is 10.5 seconds.
Now we caught him, of course, the difficult part will be passing them in these conditions.
Some information on Schumacher. They seem to have an issue.
Uh-oh. Mick Schumacher's got a problem as we make a move on Tsunoda for position. We get the job done. We're up to P6. As we'll take a second to look ahead and see what's going on with Mick Schumacher. Nothing yet. So I guess his car perhaps just has an issue causing it to run slowly. Let's look at that overtake again on Yuki Tsunoda. Sliding, but we get it done. Moving us up to P6 as we go after the wily veteran Fernando Alonso for P5. Of course, he's our rival, so we'd really like to get by him. Cardo's made 1, 2, 3, 4 pit stops. Oop.
Looks like it's going to be getting much lighter over the next 10 to 15 minutes. There should be more grip, but don't expect a dry track. We're trailing our teammate by 34. Okay, clear. We've been informed of an incident which has resulted in lots of loose debris on the track. The safety car is being deployed.
Well, I wanted to wreck Tsunoda, but I did not expect the safety car to come out. It's interesting.
Forecast suggests the rain is going to be lightening up over the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. You should start finding more grip as we clear the standing water. Full wets seem like the best tyre for now.
Could be setting up for a shootout here.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
So I'm trying to see, how many cars are a lap down here? So the first car in front of my teammate is Lando Norris in the McLaren. So that means that, just had a picture of it. So Perez is a lap down. So that means race director, so that means there will be 16 cars on the lead lap with Esteban Ocon out Yuki Tsunoda out. Actually, there'll be 15 with 2 out. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a lap down.
Drop your speed, our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
Again, the running order is Lundgaard, Leclerc, Schumacher, who has a wounded car, unless they've fixed it, Sainz, Alonso, myself, Latifi, Ricciardo, Bottas, and Stroll in the top 10. You got George Russell, Guan Yu Zhou, Lewis Hamilton, Giovinazzi, Norris, and Perez, Gasly, Verstappen, Aiken still in the race. Islet is in the race as well. So I have no idea what this restart's going to look like. Should be interesting. So let's try to catch the safety car queue. And look at this weather. It is bad right now. I know they say it's going to lighten up. It's not going to lighten up in time for the end of the race, I don't think. I wonder what the safety car is going to do, because Ricciardo, we haven't even caught up to the pack yet, and Ricciardo is 25 seconds ahead, or behind. Look at how dark those skies are. There's the queue, and of course you have all the lap cars mixed in there. And unlike real life, the game doesn't allow them to overtake. So they're all going to be stuck in between Lundgaard, and there's going to be a whole weird mix of cars. Yeah, so there are a ton of lap cars sandwiched. Uh-oh, what's that? Alonso falling out of the queue? No? Alonso's still running. Don't know why it said that Alonso was still running on track. So let's try to get a view of the situation. So you got Lundgaard in the lead, but then in the queue here we've got, I guess Lando Norris did get trapped a lap down. So Norris, Giovinazzi. So I don't know if they must have stepped. I guess they, Lundgaard must have passed them at some point to put them a lap down. But Norris, Giovinazzi, Perez, Gasly, Verstappen, Jack Aitken are all lap down, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lap cars sandwiched in between Lundgaard and second place. Charles Leclerc, and you've got Mick Schumacher, who we don't know if his car is still working or not. Carlos Sainz, Alonso, myself, Nicholas Latifi, Daniel Ricciardo, Valtteri Bottas. You got Lance Stroll, Russell, Guan Yu Zhou, Hamilton, all trying to catch up. And they're about a half a lap behind the leaders. I don't know if they'll catch up in time for the safety car restart, but they're hustling and they're certainly trying. Man, you can look at this. Slow conditions, everyone running behind the safety car, you can barely see anything. I almost ran into the back of Alonso under the safety car. I can tell you for a fact there's definitely going to be some hurt feelings on this restart. Especially with all those lap cars up ahead. Okay, so we are going to get another lap. So at this rate, we're going to be going green with 3 laps to go. At the most. There's Ricardo catching up to the pack. And back there you got yes, Bottas trying to catch up. Where is the rest of the field? Saw Stroll, saw Hamilton. Guan Yu Zhou still a long ways back. He's on the front stretch now. There's going to be a borderline whether he can catch the queue or not. Alright, so it looks like Guan Yu Zhou and Hamilton are going to get left out here.
When the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap.
They might barely catch the back end of the field here. We'll see. Depends on how soon the field gets going again. I don't think that was the best restart on my part. I fell way off of Alonso.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
Get by Alonso there. That car's trying to dive out of the way.
Green flag. Our gap behind is 2.1 seconds. over. You made it look easy. You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep this up. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, clear. This is your final lap of the race.
Trying to race Mick Schumacher here.
Brilliant. Green flag.
Some varying instances of contact there in the last couple laps, but you'll see in the results. I'm just trying to get certain people in the points. But regardless, Christian Lundgaard is going to run away with this one.
It's getting lighter now, but it's going to take a while for the track to dry out.
In a 4-wide pass in turn 1 on the opening lap, to take the lead. Oh, we've got one car with an issue. Well, Sergio Perez dropped out of the race on the final corner as we come to finish P3.
Well done, good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
It's a performance to be proud of today from our Hungarian Grand Prix winners. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times, and it's 10 times worse if you're out there on cold tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium.
So I believe that's the second win of the season for Christian Lundgaard.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Brand new Joe gets my vote today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. The current leaders continue to extend their lead at the top. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
And that was the Hungarian... I can't talk. That was the Hungarian Grand Prix. And if you're wondering why I had those little incidents on the final few laps, just look at who was 8th, 9th, and 10th. Just to get Stroll, Russell, and Guan Yu Zhou into the points. Speaking of which, we'll check the standings. Alfa Romeo gets their first point. Aston Martin jumps Williams. No real movement outside of that. Alpine got points with Alonso finishing in 4th, but still a ways behind AlphaTauri. Driver standings, some movement below me. Leclerc jumps Carlos Sainz's teammate, and Lando Norris also falls a little bit. So, really, it is, when you look at it, you know, if you take myself out of the picture, it's actually a pretty tight race with Lundgaard, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Sainz, and Norris only being separated by about, I want to say, let's try to do quick math, 38 points, I want to say, which isn't a lot. But the problem is that there's still 2 races, well over 2 race wins behind me, so. But there is a lot of season left to go, so who knows what can happen. Let's see, towards the bottom you have Lance Stroll getting some points, you got George Russell and Guan Yu Zhou getting some points, and the only ones who haven't scored, Jack Aitken, Antonio Giovinazzi, and the 2 Haas cars. Second win of the season for Lundgaard. Second win in 3 races. Of course, he won Austria.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? Things were close between you and your rival, but it looks like you're coming up top, doesn't it? How do you feel about this team's performance this season? Is there a hint of jealousy in seeing your teammate up there on the podium, or are you happy for them? Great. Well, that's everything.
Getting some cash. Always good. We'll be heading into summer break here.
Our income is solid at the moment. We should start considering where we can look to invest the profit we're making back into the team.
And we'll do some brief activity, and then we'll go to Will Buxton for an interview.
Thanks so much for the invitation to your HQ. Let's have a little chat about the team's performance this season. You recently joined us on an episode of F1 Paddock Pass for a deep dive into the management of your team. The public reaction to that feature was overwhelmingly positive. Not trying to force your hand here, but can we expect you to take part in future episodes? A recent survey found that your staff have the highest employee satisfaction of all the F1 teams. That's quite the accolade. In your opinion, what makes you the best team to work for in Formula One? We've been going over your financials, and it seems like your team is holding on to a lot of cash. Is there a reason for that? Other teams have invested more in their facilities than you have. Are you happy with what you have, or is there a cash flow issue? Your second driver seems to be throwing themselves into all your team's activities. Is this aiding in their development? Well, thanks so much, as ever, for your time. It's hugely appreciated.
Alright, we'll go to the summer break.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
Alright, that's it for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We'll see you next time for the Belgian Grand Prix.